This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of Phatts TV, sanctioned by PA Phatts and the non-genetically proven Sun. Any and all words have been authorized during the show. There is nothing off limits. Nobody is restricted from watching and participating in the show. It is a free-for-all. Commencing at the siren, any and all discussions will be legal for an extended period of time. Sports, politics, and any and all controversial topics will be talked about. You have been warned. May God be with us all.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Phatts TV on this Friday night, December the 2nd, 2022. I'm PA Phatts, still joining you from Phatts Studio A, just on a different camera tonight. Having a little issue with probably the cords that go to our main camera. It's not looking too pretty. Not looking too pretty at all on that camera right now. That's why we started a few minutes late, so we always have a backup that we could use, and the backup tonight is the camera that is on the computer. Joining me as always from Phatts Studio B, thankfully his is working just fine tonight. The one, the only, the world famous, non-genetically proven Sun. You're on mute.
Yeah. All right, Gus. All right.
The world famous.
Need to fix the camera. I can see your software there. Just a hair.
You can?
Yeah, I can see that you're on the top of 4 selections of something. I can see.
Oh.
Now you're on the second one.
Hold on. Hold, please. Let's
There you go.
move you.
Well,
That didn't work.
no, still see it. There you go.
There we go. I'm a hot mess tonight. That thing threw me for a loop. Tried to fix it for a freaking hour. Just wasn't fixing. Wasn't fixing. So it's an all-sports Friday night, and group stage has ended at the World Cup.
Quite entertaining for neutrals. Maybe not so much for us German fans.
The fatherland.
And fans of wanting really good round of 16s. Foreshadowing. U.S. made it. There's 5 undefeated teams. Who were they again? The Netherlands, England, USA, Morocco, Croatia, just as expected.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hensing, a lot of those teams probably shouldn't have even made the round of 16.
Brazil lost?
To Cameroon today.
Did they really?
I don't think they really...
No, they had already locked in there.
They just didn't have to lose by more than 2.
Yeah.
So they scored late. The Cameroon guy got a red card for celebrating. He took off his shirt. I think he was already on a yellow.
Okay.
Take off your shirt. It's an automatic yellow. Portugal lost today. So I'll get into this later about what my pre-predictions were, but they're not looking so good.
So let's look at the bracket.
Let's look at the bracket.
Yeah, I'm going to have to lower the size of the screen because the bracket is too big for the screen.
There you go.
All right.
It's a little bit different than I would have wanted to see as other than the United States as a neutral now.
Yeah. So the games start tomorrow at 9 with the U.S. Netherlands.
9 a.m. is probably coverage starts.
Yeah. Who knows if the game starts at 9 or 10 or 9:30? Who knows?
Yeah.
Who really cares? So we're going to go through, and we'll talk a little bit about the U.S.-Netherlands game. The non-genetically proven son can talk about the other games if he wants to. But I'll give you the odds, and I'll even give you the FIFA rankings of the teams.
There you go.
And then we'll discuss who we think's going to go all the way. I don't know. Personally, I think this isn't nearly as fun as it could be.
No, with Germany, Belgium, Uruguay,
and the team that didn't even make it, Italy,
even Mexico not making it is just, you're really throwing a wrench into some of these teams. It's great to see upsets. It's the World Cup. You're going to see upsets.
Yes.
But it really didn't make for a great round of 16. I texted you. I said, this round of 16 sucks.
Yeah. I mean, I see potentially 2 or 3 upsets that can happen.
I think just about every good team could get upset. There's only one that I think is kind of 2 that are definitely like, yeah, they're going to lose.
Yeah. And like, to me, there's one that's like, they don't even need to play the game. Like this, if they played 100 times, this team might tie once.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. All right, so yes, the game actually starts at 10 tomorrow. So the Netherlands and the USA. Now, my odds that I'm going to give you are for the team to advance, not the 3-way odds. So Netherlands is minus 215, and the United States is plus 175. So what that means is any team that's minus is the favorite, the team that is expected to win. So that means if you wanted to win $100, you would have to lay 215 if you're taking Netherlands. And if you laid 100 on the USA, if you win, you get back your 100 and win 175. Netherlands is the 8th ranked team in the world. United States is the 16th ranked team in the world.
Well, you almost hit that right in the head. I think the U.S. actually might be the worst team in this round of 16. Maybe 15th. But
well, I could tell you right now, according to FIFA rankings, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams, 6 teams worse than them.
Sure, we'll go with that.
We'll go over them.
I don't know how I feel about this game because both teams kind of lack the same exact thing.
They don't have scorers.
They can't score. They don't have scorers. Now, the Netherlands group was easy.
It was.
You had Ecuador and Qatar, and you had Senegal without Mane. Pretty easy. The United States are probably thanking England for not trying.
Yes.
And then getting lucky against Iran. I actually thought they should have lost that game. Or Iran, because it matters how we say it now.
Yes.
But I'll take Netherlands in a very, very close game. Could even go all the way to penalties, I think. But I think that's where Netherlands is strong in the defense and the goalkeeper's part.
Yeah, so, the only goal the United States has given up so far has been on a penalty.
Correct.
But they've only scored 2.
Correct.
Netherlands has scored 5, I believe, and they've given up 1.
Correct.
So if either team scores 2, the game's over.
Yeah.
I don't think either team's scoring 2.
No. 1-0 all the way.
I myself could see it going to penalties easily at 0-0. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but I could see it going to penalties at 0-0. If a team gets 2, the game's over. So who you think Netherlands is advancing?
Netherlands 1-0 in penalties.
1-0 in penalties. I'm gonna go for the homer play. I'll take the United States to advance 1-0 in extra time.
Well, honestly, I'm okay with that because I think this game is kind of a toss-up.
It is. It is. So, for those of you that don't know your soccer, it's weird because I'm looking up at the camera that doesn't work as I'm talking. I'm so used to doing it. for those of, and like it's not we're not even on the camera screen.
Right.
For those of you that don't know how this works now, is you play your first half, 45 minutes plus stoppage time. You play your second half, 45 minutes plus stoppage time. If the game is tied, you automatically play 2 more 15-minute periods plus stoppage time. Automatic. It's not sudden death. It's you play the full 30 minutes. 15 minutes you defend one half. The other 15 minutes you defend the other half. If the game is still tied, you go to penalty kicks. 5 kicks per team if needed. So if a team gets up 3-1 and there's only 1 kick left, game's over. If you're still tied after that, then each team gets a kick. And it goes and goes and goes. Every player on the, we'll use the American term, the field, not the soccer term, the pitch, has to go. So even the goalies might have to kick if it goes that long. Which we've seen it before. I don't know if we've seen it at the World Cup ever go where goalies kicked, but
I'm not sure. I know there's some teams where the goalie is in the top 5.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. The other game tomorrow is Argentina at Australia. Argentina is a huge favorite. They're minus 1,100. Australia is plus 650. Argentina is ranked 3rd. Australia, who is the worst FIFA ranked team who made it through, is 38th. This is the game I said, if they played it 100 times, maybe the team would get a tie once.
I would agree.
Yeah.
This was the one team I think that the U.S. would beat, like, more than 50% of the time in the round of 16. Argentina lost their first game against the Saudis.
Yeah.
And it was like a 38-game unbeaten streak.
Yeah, they were 1 away from tying the record
that Italy has, and that's the only thing Italy is happy about this World Cup. And then the last 2 games, they looked like Argentina again. This one doesn't need to be played. You're right. I could see this game. It's probably not going to be very exciting. 3-0 Argentina.
That's if they let off the gas.
Yeah, I don't think they'll. I think they get up 2, and then they sub out Messi and all their good players, and
yes.
Who cares at that point?
Yes. A good bet for this, and you're probably still getting negative, is like Argentina to win by more than 1, or maybe even more than 2. Who did Australia play to get in this thing?
They beat Tunisia. They lost to France in their first game. 2-1, 3-1. Then they beat Tunisia. Who cares?
Yeah.
1-0. Then they beat Denmark 1-0.
Oh, huge! That's a pretty big upset.
Yeah, Australia. This might be the first time they ever made the final 16.
Probably. I believe Denmark ended up finishing last in that group.
They did. They had 1 point.
Yeah. That's disappointing for that.
Hence, there was shouts for them to win the group over France.
Yeah.
This sucks for the U.S. because you really wanted to see Poland win Group C. Because then, if the U.S. were to beat Netherlands, you got to face the winner of Poland, Australia. You have a nice, easy path, for the most part, to the semis.
Yeah.
And they could beat Poland.
Yeah. So, we'll see in my predictions if I have the U.S. beating Argentina. We'll see. So let's move to the Sunday games. The first game, speaking of Poland, they're playing France.
They are playing France.
The line in the game, France is minus 800. Poland is plus 550. France is rated 4th in FIFA. Poland, probably a little lower than what you would think they would be, 26th.
Well, the one problem with Poland, they are very one-dimensional.
They got a good player.
They got Lewandowski up top. That's great.
Yes.
But that's it.
Yes.
He's got no help. Lewandowski hasn't made a career off being Erling Haaland. He's not super quick. He needs help. Without help, what do you want him to do? Did you watch the Argentina game? Poland was trying to play for a tie. I think they had one shot the whole game, and it was from 30 yards out. It was a slaughter. And France is probably just as good, if not better, than Argentina. Poland is going to be playing for penalties, 100%.
Sure.
They're not going to get it.
No.
2-0 France.
Yeah, I was going to agree with two. Well, that was my prediction as well. 2-0. But I think France's second goal comes really late.
Yeah.
Like when Poland is pushing up.
Right.
France will counter them and score after the 80th minute, somewhere in there. By the way, I didn't give my prediction in the Argentina-Australia game. I'll give Australia a goal, but I'm going to say 5-1.
That's very generous.
That is very generous. That is very, very generous.
A late, trash goal.
Nah, could even be on a penalty. By the way, did you see Messi had a penalty that was saved?
I was watching the game and I went, yes!
He didn't get the ball high.
No, it was a really bad penalty.
For him.
It was a really bad penalty.
For him. I mean, the goalie still had to guess right.
Yeah, but that was such a savable area.
It was.
That would have been, if I was playing, I could have potentially saved that.
Potentially, yes. Because that's your way to dive.
It's if I would have got my arm up quick enough.
Right.
I mean, that's all it really was.
Yes.
Did Szczesny get his arm up?
Yes. All right. Then the second game, you have England and Senegal. England is the favorite at minus 390. Senegal is plus 300. England is rated 5th in FIFA. Senegal 18th.
That's very mean.
To
I think it's the best game on the board. To me. I don't know if Mane is playing yet, Senegal's best player. If he is, this game will be a war. Senegal won AFCON, which is the African Cup of Nations. Same as the Gold Cup the United States won.
Mm-hmm.
The Continental Trophy. So Senegal, to me, is the best team out of Africa. England is not the best team out of Europe. Not by a long shot.
Mm-hmm.
One problem England has is their defense stinks.
It does.
They have absolute powerhouse at their powerhouse in the attacking and midfield area.
Right.
But they aren't good at defending.
No.
Senegal should be able to counter them the entire game. Because I think England controls this game.
Sure.
I think they have 65-70% possession. But Senegal's counterattack, especially if Mane is playing, is going to be deadly.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't he supposed to be back for this game?
I think so. But I haven't seen anything about it.
The official projection was he was going to be out for the group stage and then back for the elimination stage.
He is not injured in the pre-match reports.
Mm-hmm.
He's not on the injury list. Idrissa Gana Gueye is suspended, which is bad for Senegal.
So who did Senegal play, by the way?
They played Netherlands. They lost 2-0. They beat Qatar 3-1. They beat Ecuador 2-1.
Okay, so, they They really didn't play anybody except for Netherlands.
Not really.
Okay. So what's your prediction on this game?
I think it's going to be a very tight game, but unfortunately, I think the class of England will outsee Senegal 2-1.
Okay. I don't think it's going to be that tight of a game.
Okay.
I think the real England team is showing up in this game, and I have it 4-1 England. Goals aplenty on the English side.
Yeah, they scored so many against the Welsh. And the United States.
It's going to be, you said it, a very open style game.
It should be.
And a very open game favors the offensive firepower of the English. Like let's face it. Looking at the offense, just the offense.
Yeah.
Who besides England is better? Brazil, maybe. I can't really find anybody. Brazil, maybe.
I would probably say France as well.
Okay, well, we're gonna if it holds true, we're gonna find out in the quarterfinals because they face each other.
Yeah,
and we have them facing each other, so we're gonna see who we predict is gonna win.
Who says I don't have Poland winning?
Didn't you tell me France?
Right.
You did. Like you told me France. All right, let's move to Monday. Japan. What's the first game? Japan, Croatia. This has the closest odds of any game. Croatia is the favorite at -180. Japan is +150. Croatia is ranked 12th. Japan is ranked 24th.
So I'm gonna go out and say Japan was projected to get last in their group.
And then they scored a very controversial goal.
We'll get there. They topped the group.
They did.
With Spain, Germany, and Costa Rica in it.
Yep.
And for 2 minutes, Japan and Costa Rica were going through. What? As a German fan, it gets hard to watch them. I said they wouldn't do much in this tournament, and they didn't.
Yes, you did.
But I expected them to get through the damn group. Japan, they play with this do or die type of style.
Yep.
It's
kamikaze
kind of
style.
me of how you learn how they fight in war.
Right, kamikaze style.
Like, they just go. They don't care. And they're quite good. They should have made the semis, quarters last time around. They're up 2-0 on Belgium, and they lost 3-2. Croatia, coming off of second place last time around.
Yep.
They're just kind of... They finished second in their group.
Yep.
Behind Morocco. And Belgium was in that group. And Canada, poor Canada.
Belgium, by the way, is ranked 3rd in FIFA. I'm sorry. No, second.
Second.
And they didn't make it.
Yeah. This game is tough for me. Croatia's the better team. Flat.
Yeah.
Flatten it out.
They
Croatia's the better team. But Japan is playing this style that's working.
Yes.
And this game could go either way.
It can.
It's a tough one for me to really predict.
Okay.
I think somebody's going to score early, like first 20 minutes. And whoever does that is going to win the game.
Okay.
And I think Japan will score early.
I'm calling for the upset myself.
I like Japan to go through 2-0.
I have it 2-1. 2-1 for the Japanese. Now, they scored a goal in their last game.
Do you have the picture?
Not on the computer.
Oh, it's so bad.
That every angle that you see says the ball was out of bounds.
Yeah.
But you don't see any angle of the ball right at the end line. Like you need the camera like right on the end line.
Right.
And I have yet to see a camera shot of that. Now, if you look at, you got to remember, a soccer ball is like the planet Earth. It's a sphere. The middle is wider than the poles. If you're only looking at the poles, the ball is out of bounds, clearly.
Yeah, by about 6 inches.
Clearly out of bounds. I wouldn't say 6 inches, but you can see grass between the white end line and the ball. Clearly. Right. But according to the officials, the sphere kept the ball in bounds. Now, you sent me a picture, so I'm gonna put us back up for a second. I'm gonna put up this picture.
I'll put in a backstory to this. So, FIFA and Adidas, the balls that are being used in the World Cup have basically a computer system in them. They do have to charge the balls at halftime.
Well, my balls got to get charged at halftime, too.
There is like a computer system in the ball. See, I don't know if this is a reenactment.
Right. So you don't know how accurate this is. But, like, you can plainly see looking at this picture, the difference between the pole of the ball and the equator of the ball, the difference in the width.
I mean, this is part of the reason why I hate VAR. I don't think something like this should come down to a computer.
Well, they did rule it a goal on the field.
Okay, so, I mean, then I'm fine with it as a goal, if that's what they ended up ruling. Because I don't like how this game comes down to millimeters now. But there was an offside in the Croatia game. The dude was literally like 2 millimeters offside. It wasn't even close.
There was one that I was going to send you a picture of, but my camera, it doesn't save pictures anymore. Where it showed the offsides, and like you couldn't tell even from the VAR picture that it was offsides.
Yeah, it's so
like,
close. Like I hate that.
Like the guy's hand put him off.
Like if you can't naked eye see that it's offside, I don't think it should be offside. I mean, I'm fine with the computer being like, oh, he was a half a body offside. They missed it. All right, whatever, it's offside. Mm-hmm. But if he's offside by a few inches, that doesn't give you any advantage. None. Or when people are offside by their hand. You can't score with your hand.
Right.
I like shoulders.
Right. It should be shoulders.
Yeah. Not arm.
Yes.
But they'll fix it eventually.
Yes. I mean, I wish my phone worked, because I would love problems.
Is that you?
What?
I hear a really high-pitched noise.
No, it's not me.
Maybe somebody's talking about me. Ow. Kind of went away. I don't know what that was.
I wish that my phone worked, because the offsides play that I'm referring to, like, unfortunately, I can't, like, if I try to bring it up on my phone, it doesn't work. Like, see the picture in the middle. Don't worry about my $2,500 win here. How good can you see that?
I don't see anything right now.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I'm not back on I'm still back on the schedule here.
I can't. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can. I know exactly what you're talking about. Let's see if I can find it. If I can find it.
Like, you can't tell that someone's offsides on that picture.
No, you can't. I can't find it.
But anyway, back to the next game. Brazil and the Korean Republic. Brazil's a pretty large favorite. They're a minus 800 favorite. South Korea's plus 550. Brazil is the number 1 ranked team in FIFA. South Korea is 28th. If Brazil plays their A game, it's not a game.
So this is the second game that probably really doesn't need to be played.
Right.
And Korea does have some better players than Australia does. They have Son. They have Hwang Hee-chan. If you wanted to ever notice, their 4 backs, so their left back, their right back, their 2 center backs, and their goalie, they're all named Kim.
Is that
it's
a surprise?
funny. There's 5 Kims in the starting lineup. Well, I don't think Kim and their 5 Kims are going to beat Brazil. 4-0 Brazil.
I said 3-0. So on to Tuesday, game number 1, Morocco and Spain. Morocco is the underdog. Spain is minus 370. Morocco is plus 285. Spain is ranked 7th. Morocco is ranked 22nd.
You texted me after the Japan game. No. Morocco game. That they beat. Who they beat? Never mind. You said Japan beat Spain. That's what it was.
Yes.
But I said something about how Morocco is the real deal. Or they're good. And they are good. They have... It's not, they're not Brazil. They're not good at every position. But they have talent. They really do. Spain is either really good or they're pain, as their name would suggest. I really want to predict the upset here, but I just can't.
What?
Sounds like Penn State scored.
1-0. Penn State just scored on the power play.
How are you watching that?
Lion vision. I'm not watching it. Was just
listening to it.
Listening. I was hoping to just see the scoreboard.
Oh. My heart wants to pick an upset here, but I just can't against Spain. There's just too much class there. 2-1 Spain.
I actually only had it 1-0. And then the last game, Portugal and Switzerland.
Yes.
Portugal is the favorite at minus 225. Swiss is plus 180. Portugal is ranked 9th. Swiss is ranked 15th.
Portugal confuses me.
Okay.
Portugal should have... I think they have one of the best teams in this tournament.
Okay.
But they can't put it together. They just can't. In any tournament ever. Except 2016 Euros. I figured it out there. But they have really good player after really good player after world-class player. But they don't seem to play well with each other, which is odd. Like, there's 3 City players in the starting line. Should be able to play well together.
Mm-hmm.
Where was I going with this?
I don't know.
Oh, then you have hothead Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Mister, I still think I'm the best player in the world. when he's not even in the top 100.
Well, he's probably in the top 100.
I don't know about that. Can't even get into the Manchester United starting lineup. That's kind of sad. They suck. I think they still have too much class for Switzerland. I think this game could be close. The Swiss beat my team today that I thought was going to do well, Serbia.
It was a very entertaining game.
It was an entertaining game. I thought Serbia do a lot better than 1 point in this tournament.
Yeah.
But I'll take Portugal 1-0 in a penalty shootout.
Oh, you bastard. I have this game going to penalties too. But I have it going to penalties. I'm up in the air, either 2-2 or 3-3. I think this is going to be an extremely entertaining game. So I'll say 2-2 into penalties, but I'm calling for the upset here. There's just something about this Swiss team. Every time I watch them, they tend to do good.
And hey, in Euros 2021 now, they beat France in the round of 16.
Well, they're beating Portugal in the round of 16 here.
I think that was the round of 16. Might have been the quarters.
Yeah. All right. So that's our round of 16. So let's pick the rest. So we'll go back to the games that play on Saturday. So you have Netherlands versus Argentina. I have the United States versus Argentina. Who do you got? Just we don't have to give synopsis. We don't have to pick a score. Just who you got.
Argentina.
I have Argentina as well. If that's where the United States ends. I think it'll be closer than what people think. 2-0 is where I would go with that.
I would just be happy not being embarrassed.
Yeah. Then we have England, France. France, please correct me if I'm wrong, won it 4 years ago?
4-3. No, that was against Argentina.
Yeah, they played Croatia in the finals. Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking of the round of 16 4 years ago when France beat Argentina in the best game I've seen ever.
Okay. Who you got, France or England?
It's a tough one. Very tough one.
Well, they are the 4th and 5th ranked teams.
I'll take the French defense. Give me the French.
I'll take England.
You're disgusting.
I believe I picked England to go far when we originally did this.
I think you did. The dirty English.
Then we got Japan versus Brazil. Any chance for Japan?
You know what? Yeah. But they're not going to win. Brazil.
Okay.
They have a chance. They won't win, though.
Okay. Spain, Switzerland.
Well, I have Portugal.
Oh, yes. Spain, Portugal.
I'll take Portugal.
Ooh, wow. I don't know. I can't see Spain losing to Portugal. Oh, my. But I can see him losing to Switzerland, baby! Give me the Swiss to go to the semis. On to the semis we go. The left side of the bracket looks a lot better than the right side of the bracket.
Oh, yeah.
You have the South American War. War, baby, war. 2 teams. If there's 2 teams that hate each other on this planet more in soccer, I don't know who they are.
I don't know if one of them hates Uruguay more or not, but
Argentina or Brazil?
I so much wanted this to be the final. This doesn't deserve to be a semifinal. This deserves to be a final. I'll stick with it. Give me Argentina.
Ooh. Usually when they face each other, doesn't Brazil normally win?
Except in Copa America.
The last time they faced each other, Argentina won. But, something happened in that game. Like, players got arrested or fans got hurt or there was something went on in that game. I remember that.
They were supposed to play.
Or like
The
was that the game that there was some COVID arrests or something like that?
I don't know.
There was some soccer game that got stopped because players got arrested on the field during the game.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll have to look that up. Government officials walked onto the pitch during the game and arrested some players for not being vaccinated.
Look at this up right now.
I have Argentina winning as well. France, Portugal.
Give me the French.
Oh, fuck you, French. They fucking quitters.
What do you mean?
I will take England over Switzerland. I do not like the right side of this bracket.
The right side is so boring.
I completely do not like the right side of this bracket.
It's so hard. I want to make an upset, but it's so chalk.
Argentina, chalk. France.
Yeah.
We got, mind you, please correct me if I'm wrong. No South America team has ever won on. I mean, I guess you can't call it European soil, so I guess the South American team can win now.
I have to say, it's definitely not Europe.
Yeah.
I guess, well, yeah, Qatar would be considered Asia.
So, is Messi going to hold the cup before he retires? Or is Mbappe lifting the cup? See? Are you impressed that I knew somebody who was on France?
I don't even think he's their captain, though.
I know anybody else who's on France.
You know Giroud.
Claude, the hockey player? Sure. Sure.
Olivier.
Sure. Who's lifting the cup?
It's such a tough one. It's going to be a worldie of a game. 4-3 in penalties, Argentina.
4-3 in penalties, Argentina. I could never see France scoring that many goals, but okay. I have Argentina, England. I don't think England is good enough to win.
Not the final.
I don't think England is good enough to win, so I will take Argentina as well, which sucks that we have the same team. But again, like it's, as you said, it's very chalky. Like either Brazil or Argentina is coming out of the left.
Yeah, that's why I text you. I'm like, this group stage, yes. Or this knockout stage sucks because it's chalk.
Yes. Now, I will say you could realistically have 4 teams coming out of the right. But none of those 4 teams are better than the 2 teams that are on the left.
Well, I can make an argument for 6 to come out of the right.
I guess the only ones you don't is Poland and Morocco. Yeah.
The other 6, I can make a realistic argument for them to make the semi.
All right, so you have Argentina defeating France. I have Argentina defeating England. All right. Hey, let's... Boy, man, we spent 45 minutes on that.
Well, this show was going to be long.
Let's turn our attention. Do you want to talk about Penn State first, or do you want to talk about college championship Saturday?
There was an Iranian footballer arrested at club for spreading propaganda against the state in November.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but maybe.
Nope.
What do I want to do? What were the 2 options? Penn State or what?
Or championship Saturday.
Let's talk about championship Saturday because it sucks.
Well, let's start with championship Friday night.
All right.
So tonight, right after this, is
in 10 minutes.
Is USC and Utah. USC is a 2.5 point favorite.
Probably the best game, maybe the second best game on the board.
I think it's probably going to be the best game.
I hope it is. Problem is, I probably won't be able to stay up for the whole thing. USC needs to win. They'll be in the playoffs if they win. You would think. Especially since they're already number 4. Utah's not playing for much of anything. I guess if they win, would they automatically go to the Rose Bowl?
I guess not. I'm hearing, if USC loses, they're going to Rose Bowl. If USC wins, it's Washington that goes to the Rose Bowl.
If USC loses, Utah should go to the Rose Bowl. They won the pack. But regardless, who won this matchup earlier in the year? It's like 48-45.
It was a 1-point game. USC won because they went for 2 on a touchdown with 40-some seconds to go and made it.
Well, I can't say I watched the pack.
It was a good game. It was like 43-42.
Give me Utah.
Oh, you're calling for the upset.
Give me Utah. Give me the Utes.
Are you calling for the upset just because you want to see if Ohio State makes the playoffs over USC if USC loses?
If USC loses, Ohio State's in the playoffs.
See, that opens up a huge can of worms. Should you be penalized because you had to play an extra game?
It's a good argument. But even if... So take out the extra game. Ohio State's still better than USC.
Are they? I would disagree.
They both get murdered by Georgia. I don't care.
I think if you put USC on against Ohio State on a neutral field, I'll take USC all day long.
Whose offense is better, would you say?
They're both good. But USC's defense is a couple steps better than Ohio State's.
Ohio State has like the 3rd worst defense in the Big Ten.
Yeah. You put them on a neutral field, I'm taking USC. Which, to me, if USC loses a close game tonight, you shouldn't penalize them.
They will, though.
They will. Of course they will. But should they?
Loves Ohio State.
The world famous Ohio
State University. If Ohio State lost by a point or less than 10, they're 4 right now. But they had to be moved to minimum number 5 because they got embarrassed at home. Embarrassed.
They got destroyed by 22, I believe it was.
And I was not shocked because I knew Ohio State's defense is awful.
They are.
I don't know what it is. I mean, I love listening to Ohio State forums, like how Penn State has a bunch of forums. They all call for Ryan Day's head.
Of
you
course.
go 11-1. He should be fired. He should be fired. What do you mean he should be fired? We played a bad game. Jesus Christ.
I mean, granted, their defense hasn't looked good most of the year.
No, but damn, their expectations are higher than Penn State's.
Yeah.
I thought Penn State fans' expectations were too high. They're like, apparently it's national championship or bust for Ohio State.
Yes.
They won it once since the playoffs started. Once! And they shouldn't have even been in it.
They certainly shouldn't have been in it in 2016.
And now Ohio State said, don't send us to the Rose Bowl. They don't want it.
They don't.
Their school literally said, I don't want to be in the Rose Bowl.
Yep.
Fine. Whatever.
I don't think the Rose Bowl wants them there anyway.
They don't because Ohio State's there if we're not in the playoffs every year.
Yes, Ohio State wants to go to the Rose Bowl. Wants to go to the Orange Bowl.
Right. Whoever wins the Big Ten is in the playoffs, pretty much guaranteed, because they're probably undefeated or have 1 loss.
Yes.
That's fine. Go to the Orange Bowl. Go play Clemson. Go screw over Tennessee. That's funny.
Yes, because that's what's going to end up happening.
Going to end up at the Cotton Bowl against Tulane.
Yes.
Which kind of sucks for them. I don't get to go probably to California anyways, so
probably
I'd love to go to California.
Probably not.
But a flight right now, a month from now, is $700 round trip.
Sure.
In 2 weeks, it's going to be $1,300.
Sure. Where do you want to see Penn State? Well, we'll talk about that one when we talk about Penn State.
Yeah.
All right. 12 o'clock. Well, by the way, I say USC's winning tonight and covering. Tomorrow, starting out at noon in the Big 12, TCU a 1.5-point favorite over Kansas State.
To me, I like this game. This game's fun. It's something different. TCU's never been in the playoff conversation. I think Kansas State was 1 year. They were close.
Mm-hmm.
They're usually a pretty solid team. They're usually the ones that beat Oklahoma in that division if no one beats them.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kansas State could be better than the 9-3 their record is.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think TCU is as good as their 12-0 record is.
So don't forget, when these teams played just a few weeks ago, Kansas State was up by 18 and lost. They were up 28-10 and lost.
Jeez.
They lost 38-28.
I'm wondering how TCU is going to play. Are they going to come out and play with pressure or no pressure?
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to come out and be like, you know what? We beat them earlier. We can beat them. You are the better team. Go and win. Or are they going to come out, we need to win. We need to win for the playoffs. If we don't, we're not in.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas State's not playing for anything.
Mm-mm.
They don't care.
Nope.
They're just playing to win the Big 12.
Right.
So it really depends on if TCU wants to be conservative
Mm-hmm.
or if they want to just go for it balls to the wall. They need to go for it balls to the wall or they will lose. I like chaos. Give me Kansas State.
Kansas State is winning this game. That's what puts Ohio State back in the playoffs.
So this is a really bad scenario, and I hate it. If Utah wins, well, you know what? Let's get through the games, and then we'll talk about this.
Okay. So we're going to skip some of the other crappy games. Let's go to the 4 o'clock game. Georgia's 17.5-point favorite over LSU. Does LSU have a prayer at all? The answer to that question is no.
No. They lost to Texas A&M last week.
Yes.
Texas A&M! They are awful!
Yes. Yes. A lot of the
supposed to be in that game because they were supposed to be really good.
a lot of the experts think LSU could cover the 17.5 because they have a good defense.
Who cares?
Exactly.
So does Georgia.
Yes. Yes. Georgia's winning. Central Florida Tulane. At Tulane. They just played here 2 or 3 weeks ago. Central Florida beat them by 3.
Not a neutral site game.
Nope. At the home field of the
I don't
IRC.
know enough about these teams to
Okay.
really make an accurate prediction.
Okay.
So
Tulane is getting their revenge.
Huh?
Tulane is getting their revenge.
Oh, did UCF win a couple weeks ago?
Yes. At Tulane by 3.
Oh.
34-31. I
Tulane's
believe.
gonna win that.
Purdue, Michigan. Michigan favored by 17. Does Purdue have a chance? The answer to that question is no.
More of a chance than LSU does.
Okay.
But no. I think Michigan will run the ball all over them. It'll be a pretty mute game. It may be in someone's predictions later. We'll
Maybe.
get there, though.
And then the ACC game. Clemson is a 7.5-point favorite over North Carolina. All I'm going to say is if you care one little bit about this game, you're a fucking idiot. Unless if you're a bettor. If you're a bettor, then fine.
Yeah. This game is... I'd rather watch the NBA, to be honest.
Would you rather watch the WNBA?
No, I'll watch Clemson, North Carolina. No, this slate of games is awful.
It is.
Like...
It's god-awful.
These conferences that still have divisions, Big Ten, ACC, yeah, and SEC, you need to switch to what the Big 12 and the Pac-12 do. Michigan should be playing Ohio State this week. That would be a great game because I think it wouldn't be as bad as it was last week. I think Michigan would still win.
I'm not so sure.
That'd be a great game. I'd love to see that again.
Yep.
I don't even know who's the second best in the ACC.
Yep.
And then the SEC would be what? Georgia, Alabama?
Sweet home.
Honestly, nobody wants to see that.
No.
So. Actually, it might be Tennessee.
Could be, but Tennessee doesn't have their quarterback.
We don't have
So,
Hendon Hooker, who
so
I thought was going to win the Heisman for a while.
and that's why Tennessee belongs in the Cotton Bowl anyway.
Yeah, till Tennessee lost by like 30 to South Carolina.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, is not in the top 15. I said I was going to be pissed if they're not in the top 15. Where are they? 19.
Are you a South Carolina homer for some reason?
No, but I'm defending on this hill. I started this 2 weeks ago. I'm going to sit on this hill because they deserve. If LSU deserves to be in 5th as of last week, South Carolina deserves to be in the top 15.
All right.
If you're the argument that some of these teams should be in the top 7, Tennessee should not be in the top 7. Penn State should be number 7. Clemson shouldn't even be in the top 10. South Carolina deserves it.
Yeah, sure.
No, I don't give a damn about South Carolina.
So, by the way I predicted it, with TCU losing tomorrow, the top 3 seeds would be Georgia, Michigan, and then USC. And then 4th is going to be a battle of TCU and Ohio State. Now, TCU should get number 4. I don't care if the Big Ten is better than the Big 12, which there's an argument that they're not this year. I mean, after Penn State, who's a good school? Nobody.
There's good.
Good.
Who's
a good school? Seriously.
Iowa has a good defense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So the Big Ten has 3 good schools.
The problem is those 3 schools win win the Big 12, win the ACC, all 3 of them.
Sure, absolutely. So TCU should only get knocked down to 4th. They'll get knocked down to 6th, is what'll end up happening. And Ohio State, for sitting on their fucking ass, will get 4th, and then the only good part about that is they will they'll get blown out by Georgia. So that'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch.
And then I'll watch Ohio State beat Georgia.
That would be awful because then that would make Michigan Ohio State the title game.
I'm not sure Michigan could beat USC. That'll be an interesting game. That'll be a great game.
Well,
That's why I'm hoping. I think USC Michigan would be a better game than USC Georgia.
What's going to suck in my predictions? I had USC losing. So I have Ohio. If USC loses, TCU should still make it. You would think. Because if they did it, you have Ohio State at 3. And Alabama would weasel their way in. And in no way in hell do they ever deserve to even sniff the playoffs this year.
See, but the problem is they would never put Ohio State at 3 and Alabama at 4 because then you have 2 SEC teams facing each other and 2 Big Ten teams facing each other.
And you can make no argument for Alabama to be above Ohio State. You just can't.
No, you can't.
So at that, you have TCU, you would think, would just stay at 3. That'd be the logical thing to do. And then, yeah, again, Ohio State would weasel their way in.
I think it really all depends on the scores of the game. You know, if both USC and TCU lose by 3 or less, I could see them both staying where they are. I just don't think it'll. I think TCU loses by 7 or more, and because they're TCU and not a big, if it's Texas or Oklahoma in this spot, they're undefeated and they lose, they stay in the top 4. But it's TCU. It's the little guy in the Big 12. It's not the big boy. Completely different, which is completely wrong. So
let's just hope TCU and USC wins, and we don't have to have this problem. The problem is we both picked TCU to lose.
Yes.
And I picked USC to lose.
Yes.
I like chaos. Give me chaos. Because honestly, I don't think it really matters.
This year, both college and pro football sucks. It really isn't
Georgia
interesting.
Is the best team in the nation. Maybe. I can find an argument to make Michigan number one.
Did you see their quarterback is transferring?
Their backup quarterback.
Well, the guy who was the starter.
Yeah, their backup quarterback.
He's going to Iowa.
Yeah, to Iowa like an idiot. You could have picked any school, and you went to Iowa.
Well, he couldn't pick any school. It's going to make Iowa better.
Go to, like, Kentucky.
Iowa should now be the favorite to win the West next season.
Who gives a damn who wins the West?
That's all I'm saying. It gives them they'll probably be the favorite to win the West. That's all I'm saying.
And they get murdered by Penn State because Penn State's in the Big Ten championship next year. Book it.
Oof. I don't think so. I think they are the year after.
Second. Ohio State's finishing third in that division next year. Book it. Ohio State is not what they used to be.
Not right now, no.
It is Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State next year. Because Penn State has Michigan at home, actually.
They do.
That could be probably just not going to be the whiteout because it's too late. It's in November.
We'll see. We'll see.
But I don't think it matters. Georgia and Michigan is most likely going to be the title game. And it could be a very good title game. I hope it's not. As much as I don't want to see chalk and see Georgia win, if they're playing Michigan, I want Georgia to win. The last thing I want to see is Michigan and Jim Harbaugh to win a national championship.
Yeah.
So well, let's talk about it is now official. 12-team playoff in 2024. What do you think?
I think they need to start it next year.
Agree. Do you agree on 12 or do you think it should be 8?
12. Actually, 16.
16.
I don't like 4 teams getting a bye.
That's the problem. You're going to have pretty much those 4 teams are going to win the majority of the time. What would be really cool this year, Penn State would be playing Clemson in Penn State. It'd be a whiteout in December. Oh, it'd be the best atmosphere in the world. It would be so loud in there. Penn State will win that game by 20. Oh, God. Penn State will win that game by 20. And then they go into Georgia and get murdered.
So the interesting thing is, teams have the option, the teams that are going to be at home, of moving their game to a neutral field.
Why would any ever do that? And the problem is with Penn State, it gets way too cold here in December. So the problem is it have to be a noon game. It would not be a night game. It just physically can't because the stadium isn't like SoFi where it's all indoors. It's outdoors. Everything. Like even the little pathways under the stadium, it's all outdoors. Pipes will freeze.
Right. That's the problem. Like the stadium would need major upgrades to be able to handle it.
And for Penn State to make upgrades like that, Penn State would be playing there for 2 years.
I mean, how many, you know this far better than I do, how many parking lots there are cars parking on grass?
90% of them.
Could they handle it in December?
I mean, think about it. There's 105,000 people there, minus the students. So let's say 75,000 people. So figure between RVs and cars, 45,000 cars?
Mm-hmm.
There's probably no more than 3,000 paved parking spots.
Mm-hmm.
Or 3,000 to 6,000. I'm not really sure.
Mm-hmm.
I've never went out and counted them. But yeah, they're parking a mile out on grass,
Mm-hmm.
on hills.
Mm-hmm.
Just hills, farmland.
Mm-hmm.
It's all just random. Could they handle that? No, probably not. Especially if there's ice.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to work. The RV lots are mud, and those things weigh a ton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're going to struggle. They probably would have to move it to a neutral field, and it's just doesn't give you your home field advantage that Penn State has.
Right, it doesn't. I would If the stadium itself could handle it, meaning you're not going to have pipes freeze, if they could do upgrades to the stadium, it would be cool to have a night game up there in December. To me, I don't care if it's 15 degrees. Who cares?
Because it'd be a whiteout, guaranteed.
Oh, sure.
Whiteout in mid-December at night, it would be so loud.
That'd be wild.
It'd be the best game ever.
The only concern is, what's the student section going to be like? Semester's over. Potentially, depending upon when it is.
Well, it'd be next week.
So
the semester would have ended probably on. No, it'd be the weekend between finals. Mm-hmm. Last week, finals week.
Right. So this year,
week,
yes.
Last week.
This year, yes. Who knows?
So this year it'd be fine.
Yes.
I mean, what they'd end up doing is probably since when you order your season tickets, student or regular, you don't get the playoff game. You'd have to sell them outright. So what they'd end up doing is probably you have to figure out a consensus of some sort, how many students want to go, and figure out what you could sell to the general public and what you could sell to students.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the tricky part. You'd have to send out like a mandatory survey through Penn State email. Be like, how many people are going to go if we offer tickets?
Mm-hmm.
If they get 25,000 yeses, then you can portion it. Because the stadium's got to be full. It's got to be. It doesn't matter. It got to be
of
full.
Course. And it would be full.
Sell.
It would be full.
It would sell. You just don't want not 25,000 students to show up, and then the student section's not full. That looks really bad.
Right. Yes.
Even though for whiteout, the student section wasn't full until about the end of the first quarter.
They would allow student tickets to go up until a certain date, and then whatever's not sold, they would open up to the general public, and they would sell. But anyway, let's move this along because we're already at like an hour and 7 minutes.
It's all right.
Penn State season, pretty much what was to be expected, 10-2.
I wouldn't say that was expected.
Really? I did. I said 10-2.
Hey, I said realistically they should go 10-2, but it's Penn State. They always lose a stupid game in there. For once since probably the 1980s. They didn't lose a stupid game. Everyone was like, Purdue. Purdue was a tough game. They probably should have lost that game. They won the game. Everyone was worried about Auburn. Easy. I was a little worried about Michigan State. Well, they suck. They're awful. Northwestern was the stupid game they were going to lose if they were going to lose a stupid game.
Yeah.
Bad weather. Nobody was there. You fumbled the ball like 80,000 times. But no, they didn't lose a dumb game. Clifford actually looked quite decent this year. Speaking of Clifford, I have some stats for you. Will Levis, projected to be first-round pick, right?
Yep.
Yards, 2,406.
This year.
It's not bad. It's not good, but it's not bad. Touchdowns, 19. All right. Interceptions, 10. That's pretty bad. QBR, 60.5.
That's not good. That's not good.
Sean Clifford, not projected to be drafted. And I'd say I'm probably a worse team. Maybe. Kentucky Penn State would probably be a pretty good game. If everyone's healthy and everybody's playing. Sean Clifford, 2,543 yards. 154 yards. Touchdowns, 22. 3 more touchdowns. Interceptions, 7. 3 less. QBR, 71.3. Also, still, that's 34th in the country. Sean Clifford was a better quarterback this year.
Lord.
What?
Who did Will Levis have to play against again? Well, Sean Clifford was getting to play Northwestern, Rutgers, Maryland, Michigan State, Who did Will Levis have to play against? Thank you. All that needs to be said right there.
I just think that was funny to see those stats because somebody else posted. I said, "This is a great thing to say." Yeah, obviously Will Levis is a better quarterback than Sean Clifford is, but Sean Clifford was a better quarterback this year.
I will say Will Levis took a pretty large step backwards.
Well, yeah, I would have projected him to probably go second quarterback off the board. Now he's probably going to drop to like 7.
Who knows? We'll see.
He could have been number 1. The worst part is he could have been the number 1 pick in the draft. And that would have been, I don't know if that would have been a punch in the gut to Penn State. Sort of. But it's so hard to tell if 2 years more at Penn State he would have been the same quarterback. I'm going to say no, not even close.
Sure.
He'd be a lot more of a run-pass option guy than a pocket guy.
Yes.
And that's why he's good, because he's a pocket quarterback.
Yes. So, I saw a video today of Sean Clifford after the game going around shaking hands, taking pictures. Did you follow him at all taking pictures or not? No? Because I thought I saw you potentially really quickly taking a picture of that. I was just wondering.
I got to editing pretty quick. I got some pictures of the land-grant trophy, which is huge, by the way. Thing's about 4 feet tall. It's literally a block of wood. It's the ugliest thing in the world. And the Michigan State Sparty was broken. I don't know if that was on purpose or, whatever. It didn't really matter. That thing's big. A big trophy.
Pretty big.
But no, I got to editing really quick. I was trying to catch Clifford and his brother tossing around, but I didn't get out there quick enough. They only did it for a few minutes.
I did see a video of that too.
I was just trying to get out there. That's a cool little moment.
Sure.
But I didn't get out there. Wasn't really on the top of my priority list.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, Sean Clifford will be moving on. I projected that he would be part of Penn State's coaching staff. That, according to their coach, does not appear to be happening, at least right now.
I'm shocked. I think he could have fit a good spot as like a mental coach.
Well, yeah, I kind of think, that he basically sees Clifford as his kid.
I mean, yeah, he kind of does. But I'm just glad he didn't go out and say, yeah, he's going to be the quarterback's coach. Please don't make him the quarterback's coach. I think he'd be a good spot to help the team mentally, or, because he's been through it, done that.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'd be a good mental coach or something like that, or because he runs his business, Success with Honor, the NIL business that basically funds Penn State.
Yep.
Clifford makes a crap ton of money off of that, by the way.
Of course.
So he's going to stay in the area because he's going to keep trying to help Penn State. I don't see why he wouldn't. So that's why it was just assumed he's probably just going to be on their coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm perfectly okay with him not being on their coaching staff.
So he's not going to be on their coaching staff now, it appears. Let's see what happens.
Working for the school, I have a feeling Success with Honor will end up merging with Penn State and being their main NIL source.
Could be.
So where they can advertise it a lot more through Penn State, not just Success with Honor.
Yep. Okay. Forced prediction. Manny Diaz back next year or not?
He'll be back next year.
Okay.
But next year will be his last year. And he really needs to stay 2 more years. 2 years is like, get through Drew's cycle. Because assuming Drew becomes what everyone thinks he can become, he's got 2 years.
Yes.
Because he's leaving after his junior year because he's going to be a top 5 pick.
You would think.
Along with Singleton, he'll also be a top 5
You would think. I mean, barring injury or anything like that. Yes.
No, I think he'll stay this year because I think he had one good year. I'm not sure he's going to go and get a big old coaching job at a Power 5 school yet. If they go this year with another top 10 defense, then he's going to start getting those offers.
Yes. Christian entered the transfer portal. Not a surprise. We both projected that would happen.
No surprise, right?
It'll be interesting to see where he winds up.
He is the perfect case of right place, wrong time.
Yes.
I think without Drew, honestly, I think he would have been a really good quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't think he would ever really amount to much more than Clifford ever did. But I think he could have been a 10-2, maybe an 11-1 here and there kind of quarterback.
Yes.
But the problem is he was also another RPO guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really happy to see Penn State maybe
Getting away from that. Yes.
And let's play some SEC ball.
Yes. You can take Urich. You can take Urich for that.
Yeah. T formation, I formation,
yes.
pockets.
Yeah. I would love to see them snap the ball under center more than they do.
I formation is what's going to win them a national championship. If they're going to win a national championship, I formation with Singleton will be unstoppable.
Yes. They put a fullback back there with him.
I love the T formation they've been doing with K-Tron and Singleton. Because then it really throws up who they're going to give it to. Who they're going to give it to.
Yes.
But they need big help in one spot. They need to go out and get a receiver.
They do.
And Parker will stay.
Yes.
I'd be shocked if he ends up declaring.
He's not going.
You got best quarterback recruit in a very long time coming to Penn State, if ever.
Ever.
And you're a 6th round projected pick. You're definitely going to be the number 1 wide receiver. Why would you leave?
Right.
Like, you'd just be stupid to leave.
Yes.
So he'll stay, but they really need to go get a guy. There's a guy in the portal. Forget where he went, but he's super quick. Super fast. That's what they need.
There's
someone that can run a 4 something.
Yes. There's a couple receivers in the portal that I know Penn State, from what I've read, has their eye on. And they have a couple potential commitments coming in.
And
so
they have the big left tackle coming in.
Yep.
Line missing. They have Olu coming back, which
and he has 2 years left, I read.
He ain't gonna stay those 2 years.
You never know. You never know.
If he gets injured next year, then he'll probably stay again. But if he plays the full year, has a good year, he will be. If somebody needs a tackle, especially as a left tackle, I don't know a single left-handed quarterback in the NFL, if you can name one that starts. He could be a number 1 pick. Which it's mind-boggling to me to think that Penn State could have a number 1 O-lineman. That's mind-boggling. And their O-line is actually shaping up to be good.
For once.
Which is
for the first time in a while.
Shocking. They're decent this year. With all the injuries they had, they certainly battled through.
Yeah. They certainly got better as the year went on.
Which is weird because that's when the backups started playing.
So, what bowl does Penn State go to? Are they going to the Rose Bowl, or are they going someplace else? Kirk Herbstreit broke the news last week that he was hearing they are going to the Rose Bowl because Ohio State didn't want to go there. They did not sell their allotment last year, which the Rose Bowl committee did not like.
They only sold 12,000 of 20,000.
Yes. Yes.
That pissed them off.
Yes. Penn State travels really well. You know Penn State's going to sell their allotment. You know they could probably sell double their allotment. Well, maybe not double. But I bet they could sell close to 30,000 if needed. Is Penn State going to the Rose Bowl?
Huh?
Is Penn State... Obviously, if Ohio State makes the playoffs, Penn State's going to the Rose Bowl. So we're assuming for a moment Ohio State does not make the playoffs.
Penn State is in the Rose Bowl, but you really want to see USC lose. Because I think USC-Penn State would be a great game. I'm not sure Washington-Penn State would be a great game. It would be fun to get some revenge on Penix because he still wasn't in the end zone.
He was not.
I would much rather see Penn State play Utah. I think that would be also a great game. USC would probably beat Penn State, unfortunately.
Yes. I
think it'd be a very high-scoring affair.
So, USC would beat Penn State on paper. Would USC come to play after only needing a win to make the playoffs?
No, they wouldn't care. Especially Williams. He may even, is he draft eligible?
I have no idea.
I don't think so, actually. I don't think so.
By the way, USC has a 4th and 1 at their own 30-some-odd yard line.
Ohio State just scored.
Against who? Tulane?
Hockey.
Oh, hockey. Oh.
Like Penn State, yeah.
USC is at their own 45. They are lining up to go for it on 4th and 1. They snap the ball, quarterback sneak, and he's got it.
That regardless of bowl, no matter what, I'm satisfied with how Penn State's season went. If you told me preseason they're going to go 10-2, they're going to get murdered by Michigan, all right, and they had a chance going into the fourth quarter to beat Ohio State, I've been like, all right, give me that. That's great. Because even at 11-1, we're talking about Penn State making the playoffs at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And they'd end up not making it of all probability, but there'd be an argument.
They did have the lead in the second half of every game this year.
The problem is, and the argument is like, we'll make the same argument against when Oklahoma is really good. Penn State didn't beat anybody good. That is the only argument against it. They really didn't beat anybody good.
Touchdown USC.
Besides Purdue, and, if you really want to throw in Northwestern, name a game that was close. They outplayed everybody.
They did.
Like they should have.
They did.
I mean,
they did. Again, other than Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, the Big Ten is down this year.
Michigan State was closer than longer than it should have, but Clifford didn't want to throw to. And Lambert Smith is a good number 3 receiver, but you just can't let him get into that number 1 spot. Parker's a great slot guy. You really need a guy who can run longer slants and posts.
Yes.
If you could get
you needed Jahan Dotson.
I'm thinking of a different guy. Plays for Denver now.
Yeah, I know you're thinking of.
Number 1.
Yes.
Yeah. Everyone knows who I'm talking about. He was really quick.
Yes.
But I think they got good mojo going into next year. Whether they win or lose,
they do.
Honestly, it's kind of mute. Even Franklin said it in the last press conference, and I'm sure he'll say it next week after everything is announced and when media starts going back to practices. He'll say he doesn't care, or like it's mute, it doesn't matter. It matters.
Of course it matters. Recruiting
is massive. You go win the Rose Bowl. Oh. Now, I think it helps your transfer portal more than anything.
Absolutely.
You're recruiting.
It flat out doesn't help that Porter is already saying, I'm not playing.
No, but that's smart. He shouldn't.
Well, absolutely he shouldn't.
He pretending on, how everything matches out. He could be a top 10 pick. I think he'll be somewhere between 10 and 20.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's the best cornerback on the board or not. I haven't really looked at that yet. We'll get there. But yeah, Porter's not playing. All right, whatever. It is what it is. I don't blame you.
Mm-hmm. I wish he would play, though.
I mean, yeah, I'd give him a lot better chance to win. I mean, I don't think Penn State's secondary really is going to be hurting a ton without him, though.
Unless they face USC.
Yeah. They play USC, my dude.
Yeah.
But it could be another 52-49 game.
I don't think it would be.
No, because I don't think Penn State could score 49.
No, I don't think they would give up 52 either. But I would say USC by low double digits in that game.
On a neutral field, if both teams care, yes.
Yeah. All right, let's get to this week. So, what I was saying is, due to the fact that um, uh, with me messing around with trying to get the backup camera to work, I did not save the screen that has this week's picks in it. So we have to. We could look at last week's picks, but we'll have to give this week's picks verbally.
You can see what's wrong with the camera if you just look in that bottom right. You can see
Yes.
it out.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So here's the non-genetically proven Suns picks from last week.
I'm mad about this first pick.
You had South Carolina getting 14.5 over Clemson.
And what did I say about this game?
You said they have a chance to win.
I said they have a chance to win outright.
Yep.
Why the heck I didn't go put $5 on that?
Yeah.
That was stupid.
Yeah.
They won outright.
They did. They did. You had Auburn plus 22. Did that cover? Did that push? I think it pushed.
They should have covered it. They were only down like 8 with like 5 minutes to go. I don't know how they lost by 22.
So
but yeah,
it pushed.
That's like 2 pushes in 3 weeks.
Nebraska, Iowa under 38.5. That didn't happen.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that, they decided to learn how to play offense, those two teams.
Yep. Yep. Chicago plus 6, just a bad pick because Justin Fields wound up not playing.
Yeah, it's all right.
And the Jets' backup quarterback, who's better than their starter, ended up playing. And, they just tend to put up points whenever he plays.
Yeah. Until he started him.
And San Fran team total over 26.5. That didn't look too good.
They got a shutout.
They did. But they only scored 13. So you ended up going 1-3-1.
Yeah, that's not very good. I thought I did better than that.
Here's my picks from last week. I had the Giants plus 10. Needed a late touchdown with under 10 seconds to go to get them to cover. But cover they did.
Let's say I have no idea if they covered.
They lost by 8.
Okay.
Which when they got the ball back with a minute, some left to play or something, after Dallas missed the field goal, I said there's no way the Giants are not covering this game because Vegas does not want Dallas covering this game because there was so much money put on Dallas on this game. That line went up 3 points during the week.
Jeez.
I had Baylor plus 9. They were covering through the first 2.5 quarters. Then they didn't feel like playing in the second half.
Lost by 11.
I had over 58.5 in the Civil War. That went over.
I was surprised because you were so big on Oregon State. You're like, they're going to win this game. They're going to win this game. And they won the game.
They did win the game. They had a good fourth quarter comeback to win the game.
They had a big fourth quarter comeback.
To win the game. Florida plus 9.5. That's a cover.
Okay, I have no idea.
They lost, but they covered. And Michigan, Ohio State over 56. That's a cover. So a good 4-1 week for me, and a awful 1-3-1 week for you. So now on to our plays. So what I am going to do, I'm going to put back up the board. So here was our plays from 2 weeks ago. And I'm going to just erase most of these.
It's not even centered.
I know. Because I usually put our pictures up on the right. So, and I'm going to type in the picks as... So your first pick comes in the Kansas City-Cincinnati game. You have Joe Burrow over 297.5 passing yards.
Correct.
Okay?
It's a lot of passing yards.
It is, but they are facing Kansas City.
But yeah, they're facing Kansas City, so I think they're going to be trailing most games, so Burrow's going to have to throw the ball. And when he throws the ball, he throws for like 600 yards.
Yep.
And you're probably grinning because you have him as a quarterback.
I am. I do. And yes, I'm grinning. In fantasy football.
Right.
So you have the game that's going on right now.
Yes.
You have Utah USC over 67.5.
Previously, they played to like 90.
83. Or 80, 85.
And both those teams score a lot of points.
They do. In fact, Utah has the ball 3rd and goal as we speak.
That's good. That's good.
As we speak.
Points. Lots of points.
You have Michigan. Michigan team total over 34.5.
I told myself before I even looked at it, if it's under 35, I want it.
Okay.
I think Michigan controls the game and controls the game and controls the game.
And controls the game. You have the New York Football Giants +2.
The G-Men.
G-Men.
Who are +2 against the Washington Redskins football team Commanders.
Yes.
Why, I don't know.
Got ya.
I do not know.
And you have the Tennessee Titans getting 4.5 at the fraudulent Eagles.
Well, thank you for making my argument. The fraudulent Eagles, Tennessee, are not frauds. Not at all. They are in Philly, so that bothers me a little bit. But they're frauds. If they win the game, they'll win very late. But I think Tennessee can win this game. I think they can win this game by double digits.
Gotcha. So those are your picks.
Correct, Mundo.
Now I got to remember what all my picks were because I didn't write them down. I just typed them in on the page. I mean, I know what they are as soon as I see them. I just have to go back to the odds to make sure I get all the right odds. So we do have a disagreement on a game.
I'm not really sure how, because one, you don't like favorites.
That is true. I don't.
So, you definitely didn't pick Michigan team total under. Maybe you picked Utah USC under. And I highly doubt you would have picked a passing yards prop under.
Okay.
You either picked a favorite or you like the Utah USC under.
Okay. Well, do you have a guess which one I took? I believe this is our first head-to-head.
I have the feeling you took either the football team or the under.
Well, which one? Take a guess.
Football team.
Football team. So, my first pick.
You got to change the...
I know.
Oh, okay.
My first pick comes from the Tennessee Eagles game. I'm taking Henry to go over 83.5 rushing yards.
All right.
Eagles suck at stopping the run. I would be shocked if they have less than, if Henry has less than 100 rushing yards. I actually thought about taking Philly's quarterback over rushing yards too at like 40 some. I might have to actually bet that game. I might have to bet that game. Bet that play. Let me see here. My second play was the New York Football Jets and Mini to go over 44.5.
Back in Mike White.
Yep. As I said, when he plays, the Jets tend to score 28 points. And this is a 1 o'clock game, not a 4 o'clock game, so Minnesota's quarterback's going to play good. It's amazing. what his record is when he plays at 1 compared to his record when he plays at 4 or at night in a standalone game. It is absolutely.
Do you think that's actually like he plays bad then, or it's just a crazy coincidence?
Something happens when he plays in more of a primetime game. The pick that I really like the most this week, Miami, San Fran, over 46.5.
I actually, believe it or not, looked at that. But I don't know what Miami's going to do on San Fran's defense.
They're going to pass.
Thanks, Captain Obvious. As long as it's to Mike Gesicki for 4 touchdowns, I don't care.
Got it. I'm going to the Monday night game. I'm taking New Orleans plus 3.5.
There is no way you picked the Michigan game.
And for my final pick, I'm taking Washington minus 2.
Explain.
Now, the last 2 picks are for the same reason. It's a stat that I heard this week.
Oh, geez. Here we go with the random stats.
Yep.
Yeah, Sean Clifford's a better quarterback than Will Levis. Discuss.
This year, teams that play a division game. So New Orleans plays Tampa, Washington plays the Giants. You would agree that's a division game for each team.
Correct.
The week immediately before their bye week has not lost against the spread all season long.
That is the most... Like, why do people, figure out that stat? That is, like, just one of those stupid stats. Like, that's so irrelevant. That's just a coincidence.
Yep.
If you would have said after your bye week, okay, you know what? That maybe not be a strange coincidence.
Yep. Well,
but before your bye week, who cares?
I was going to say I was strongly leaning towards New Orleans anyway as a play. I like taking teams coming off of a bye.
Oh, Kiana finally decided to join us.
I thought she was probably drunk.
40 minutes after we started.
Utah got a field goal, by the way. The one game that I left off that I really like, if I didn't play Washington, the game I would have played was, let me find it. I would have taken the Chargers now getting a point over the Raiders.
Wow.
For the simple fact that the Raiders have now played back-to-back overtime games. And there used to be a huge stat that worked great for years. Always play against a team the week after they play an overtime game. Well, now I got the Raiders playing off back-to-back overtime games.
Yeah.
So those are my picks. Once again, your picks are USC, Utah over 67.5, Michigan team total over 34.5, New York Giants plus 2, Tennessee plus 4.5, Joe Burrow to throw over 297.5 yards. I have Henry over 83.5 yards rushing, Jets Minnesota over 44.5, Miami San Fran over 46.5, New Orleans plus 3, and Washington plus 2. That is this week's Phatts Phantastic Phive. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's going to pretty much wrap up our show. I got to go shopping for a cord because I need this camera to work come Sunday.
I'm shocked you didn't take college game.
Kansas State would have been the game that I took.
I thought you really liked the Michigan team total over.
I didn't even look at it, to be honest. If I saw it was that low, I probably would have taken it. But that's okay. USC has the ball on Utah's 11.
Granted, I'll be rooting for Purdue. That'd be really funny. Purdue win. Maybe if primetime Drew Brees was on the team, they got a chance.
Purdue will win, and then they'll knock Michigan out of the playoffs, and Ohio State will get in. Because they are the world famous Ohio State University.
You said that on national TV.
Did you pick up on it, or did you like until I said something about it?
I wasn't listening to it.
Ah.
I was going to work.
Yes, he said this week's game between the Michigan Wolverines and the world famous Ohio State Buckeyes.
I didn't catch it. I was listening to the game, but I didn't catch it. Like, because I forget what I was doing. I think I might have been eating or making lunch or something. But I didn't catch it right away until somebody posted about it. I'm like, that asshole.
Yeah, that somebody was me.
Like, you're a commentator for the Big Ten or Fox. Okay, great. You can't be biased. And he is the most biased. There's one other person that's biased. Biased commentator ever. Also the guy who does SEC Network. When Auburn was playing Penn State, oh my God, I could not listen to that game. And I like him as a commentator too. Like, I like Gus, except when Michigan and Ohio State are playing.
I don't like Gus at all.
Somebody random, it's actually not that bad.
Yeah.
Like, when Penn State was playing Wisconsin, like, that game really wasn't that bad. He commentated it fine. But, like, same with the SEC guy. I like him, except when he did Penn State Auburn. I wanted to kick him in the face.
Yeah, I don't like Gus Johnson at all. Can't stand listening to him.
The problem is Gus Johnson only does Michigan and Ohio State games.
Pretty much.
He will never do another game. He usually gets an NFL game, and they're usually fine. Every Sunday.
I wouldn't know.
I just hear it on Red Zone. Like, I really don't. Like, the first couple weeks of the NFL season, I sat on my couch and watched Red Zone. Now, I put it on my computer and play something on my Xbox. Because I don't care. Because it sucks. I'm terrible at fantasy. It's going great.
USC's quarterback just basically changed the coach's mind. It's fourth and 2 from the 3. And he basically went like this. No, we're staying on the field. And now they're running a play.
And then when they miss it, you bench him. No, you don't. But
and touchdown. The guy was wide open. The running back was wide open coming out of the flat.
Well, pretty
like, literally wide open. All right, so that's going to do it for this week's show.
I wonder if that's a planned play. He's supposed to say, no, but that means this is the play call. I guarantee you that's a planned play.
I don't know. It was just but it wasn't like a regular, like it wasn't like a trick play. I've seen, you see that play every week on the goal line.
That's what I mean, but like you think,
yeah,
he's mentally out of it for even a hair, and he's wide open.
Yeah,
I bet you that was a planned play.
All right, so we'll see you next week. By the way, this is why I'm using the backup camera tonight. That's what's going on. So we're going to have to go get a new wire. Hold on. I already put up the go away graphic.
I have no idea. I know there's a basketball game on Wednesday.
Okay, well, there's wrestling doesn't have Tuesdays.
I don't even know if wrestling has a home. Yeah, they do. I don't know when, though. They play at Oregon State, I think, sometime.
Okay.
All
right.
I'll have to look.
All right, so stay tuned for when we will do our weekly shows next week. Until then, have a safe, happy, healthy week. If you go Christmas shopping, remember my basement limit is $200 gifts. So it's got to be valued at $200 or more. We will see you next week. Wave goodbye to the kind folks. See ya.